Okay, here we are back inside matrixgold. We're going to show a little bit of a curve from two views. I got a message in my email or from Instant Messenger or whatever from our group on a question on how to design a ring. And I think it's a great thing to show everyone. It's going to be focusing on a curve from two views, and we're going to be able to try and keep most of it parametric up to a point. Because this is something that you can use ring resizer on. But at least it'll kind of give you a little idea of what you can do with the parametric curve from two views. So I probably post this on the YouTube. If you're seeing it on YouTube, then I did. But really, it's for a specific individual in our Facebook group. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a inside ring rail, and this is it's a ladies ring, I believe. So we'll go ahead and just take the default there, and then right away I'll just go ahead and grab a gem on the ring rail. What they had was a emerald cut, so we'll just go ahead and put emerald cut on here. And I'll just take the default. You can change the size or whatever. The layout and everything will be the same, of course. And now I'm going to go ahead and add back to my tools, I should say, and then we'll just go ahead and throw an outside ring rail on there, and I'm going to hold down shift and well, I don't have to hold down shift. I'm going to drag this up kind of. This will have control over, so I'll just go ahead and snap it there, hold down shift, and we'll make it 2mm by 2mm, something like that, right? And as you can see right now, we still have everything lit up, so everything is parametric, nothing's hidden or anything like that. Next thing, we'll just go ahead and give it some shading here. Well, let's go ahead and put it back to wireframe, because that way I can kind of see my curves a little bit better. Ring rails, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and go to my curves. I'm going to right click on this so I get from both sides, right? So I'm going to right click here, and I will change that to creation layer, and we'll come down here and we'll turn on project, and that way I can kind of snap it to my ring rail here. It doesn't matter which one, and kind of draw it out, and it'll project it to my C plane, right? So I'm not sure exactly where I want it yet, so I'm just going to snap anywhere, kind of drag out however far I want it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we can manipulate all this at any time. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that there. Next thing I'll do is grab me a line curve, because it comes out straight. So and its project is still on, so everything will go down to the project, down to the C plane, and I'll drag it out to however far, we'll say like maybe around 2mm, something like that. And the next thing I'll do is go and grab my arc direction, and right here, the third one down. And this one, you have to be a little cautious. The further you bring it out, the more you'll be able to change the size parametrically. But I'm just going to take it out just a little bit, and we'll take it out something like maybe here. And then we'll go over here, and then I'll just kind of give it a little curve there. And then right away, I'm going to take these two curves, and at this point, it doesn't matter. We can go ahead and just join those together. And that's kind of all I'll do for right now. Okay, so now I'll go to my curve from two views. I'll select this one and go to my inside ring rail and just click, so that's out there, right? And then I'll right click to accept that, so that one's out there. I'll bring back that by right clicking again on my mouse and then selecting this one, and then bringing back my ring rail, just going over here and hit show, and then click there, and that one is not projecting up. Well, actually, I don't need it, so I don't need it, so let's just take it and we'll delete it. We don't need it. Okay, so this one is all one, so I'm going to go ahead and take that, and I am going to I'm going to transform, mirror, in the X direction, not the Y, and then I'll just click here, right? So I have that. Now that one that we have here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and take that curve and switch it to my green here, right? Now I'm going to take that curve, I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm just going to duplicate this just a little bit. I didn't duplicate it, so I'm going to back out of that. I don't want to join anything. I want to back out of that. I want to keep this ring rail, right? I'm going to hold down Alt and then move it just a little bit, and then I'm going to change it to red, and then I'm going to move it just a little bit more, so it breaks that duplication, right? That's the only thing it breaks, right? And now I'm going to select the red one. So I'll select the red one, and I will go to curve menu, curve from two views, and then I selected the red one, so my second curve will be the outside ring rail, and I'll right click on that. Okay, so I have that one out there, and now I'll take the red one, the outside curve, and transform, mirror it in my X direction, not my Y, and then right click. So now I have this out here, right? Okay, so what we can do now is we can go ahead, yeah, okay, go to our surface, go to loft, and we can loft from here to here, and then right click, and that lofts that, and I'll turn it to our green layer here. And then I'll accept that, and then I'll go right click, bring back loft from here to here, and then right click, and then we got that, right? Okay, so we have this out here, and the nice thing about doing it, well, we'll just go ahead and continue, and then I'll show you the nice thing about it, right? Now what I'm going to do is go into my curves, and I am going to duplicate parametric this curve here, and this curve here, this one down here, and this one here, and then right click. Okay, so if I go to, oh, it's in green, so let me select those. Just go ahead, and then there they are, they're out there, they're yellow. Okay, so we have a duplication here, duplication there, and now what I can do is go back to my surface and do another loft from this curve here. Okay, they're grouped, so I need to select those curves. Let's back out of that. Select the not that, select these curves. Okay, so I can just go ahead and click on one and select all of them, and then ungroup. Ungroup won't break history or anything. So I'll go ahead and select, I ungrouped them. Now select this curve, and then right click. So it closes that off. And then right click to accept it. Then I'll right click to bring back loft again, select here and to here, and right click to close that off, right? So now we have that. And now we need to get this area in the center here all closed off, right? So I'll go back to my curves and do another duplicate border edge, right? And I'll go from this one to this one, and we'll just go ahead and do this one and this one, and we'll do this one here, and this one, and this one here, and this one. And you might want to make sure you grab this one down here as well, and this one here, and then right click to accept that, right? And now I'm going to hide my green here, so I'll go to this layer and hide the green. Okay, so we have these curves, but they're duped on the, we'll right click, they're all grouped, so we want to ungroup them. So now they're all individually there, right? So we'll go to tools, and we'll go parametric join, and we'll just select all this here and this down here, and then hit enter, right? So now they're and enter again, so we got all that, so they're all joined together, right? Okay, so I think you know where we're going from here. So what we can do is go from surface, go to our surface, go to our loft, and parametric loft, and go from here to here, and then right click, and that gives us that surface, and then I'll right click again to bring back loft, going from here to here, and then right click to accept that, bring back all my green, and now we have everything there, right? Now what we're going to do is select all our green, go to tools again, and we're going to join those surfaces and then right click, right? So now we have those surfaces. But the nice thing about doing it this way, like I was saying earlier, let's bring, oh, I don't have my head out there. So let's go ahead and get our head on here so we can kind of see where we're going to need to put everything. And I'll just go grab a head. First thing I'll do is kind of drag, I don't want I always grab that. I don't know why. Actually, I'm just going to back out of that. I'll right click again. There we go. And this is what I want. I'm just going to drag that head down just past my ring rail. So let's go to our front view here real quick. Okay, it's past my ring rail. And then what I'll do is come over here and we'll do a little manipulation on it. The first thing I'm going to do is change my profile. We'll just change the profile. We'll go to something like this here. I like that better. And then we'll go to level 4 so I can manipulate my rails. And my height, I'm going to take this one up. I'm going to click on my little dot there so I can mess around with that. First thing I'm going to do is location. I'm going to drop it down a little. And then I'll just bump this one up, something like that. Okay, there we go. And that's all parametric as well. I probably should have did a little bit more manipulation on it. We probably don't need it that wide there. So let's go ahead, select that, enter, and let's see our offset. Let's bring it in a little, something like that. Let's go back to, yeah, we're on still level 4. Let's go in here, grab that one, and let's kind of mess around with the offset on that one as well. We don't need it so far out there, something like that. And it shot it way out there. I don't know why. Okay, but anyway, we should be okay. Let's look at, yeah, now I can't see the rail going around my center stone, which is what I wanted. Okay, so now we have that green and red curve down here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select the red one, and I'm going to move it in this toward my shank, toward my head, right? And then you can see it updates. Everything updates, so I can keep moving it. I'm going to go back and grab my green one now and move that one kind of in a little. And there, now I can kind of manipulate it to where I want it, so that maybe I don't like that outside ring shank that high, so I can come back to my outside ring rail, go to edit, and I can maybe bump this down a little, and you can see everything's updating along with it. And maybe I want to give it a little bit more character. I just don't want it straight up and down. I think the green one is the bottom one, but we'll find out here in a second. So I'll select all my green and then kind of bump it in a little, and you can see it kind of angles it in. So you have total control over where exactly you want these things to come out up here, wherever, right? And you can keep manipulating it however you want, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say this is cool. And what I'll do now, first, there we go. I'll go ahead, select it, go to my transform, and go to mirror, so it gives it my other side, right? And I can still keep manipulating it however I want. And it's still going to update, right, on both sides now. So I can really kind of see exactly how I want it to lay out. Maybe I want to go back to that red one and move that a little bit in. However you want to lay it out, of course. Right, so it's total parametric. All right, so we still want parametric on it, and we definitely don't want the shank coming out something like that, right? So how are we going to mess around with that? Well, that's a real easy one. We'll just go to our solids, we'll grab a box, and I'll just start, we'll put it on our cutter layer here, and I'll just start from F4 and kind of draw a big box out here, and then kind of bring it up a little bit. Well, actually, I'll delete that, sorry. I'll go right click to bring it back, F4. Actually, I want to take it down below, and then kind of make it bigger than my shank, and then I can just kind of move it over into place. It does just as long as I get the whole bottom of half of the shank covered up, right? And that is solid. And our two here, closed poly surface and closed poly surface, and everything is parametric. So I'll just do a Boolean difference between this surface, enter, this surface, enter, and then enter. And then I'll just go ahead. Maybe we want to save this because you never know, you might want to go back and readjust something. And then I'll just turn this one off, right? And okay, when we did that dupe, okay. So we can still, if I go to my red curve here, I can still manipulate that red curve and everything's still updating, right? So you can still kind of play around. Oh, I brought it in too much, so let's go back. It's all right there at my outside ring rail, so that's, but is it in there? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's in there. It's touching, it looks like. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, and then you might want to check your bottom out. Make sure the bottom's kind of not really touching, right? So let's go back. Which one is it? I think it's the green one here. So we'll just select green. We'll kind of bring that one in. And now it's kind of, it's still out there. We can always go back to our head too and adjust our head. It's on level 4. Let's take it to level 1 here. And our angle right here, X angle, we'll just kind of bump that out just a little, something like that maybe, right? And we can always go back to our inside ring rail, right? And we can show that. So show, and I'll just take that and let's change it. Oop, I just jacked up everything there. We'll take that and we'll change it to our ring rail so we know it's our ring rail there. And we can scroll all the way down here and go to wire cut and select our select cutting curves. That'll be this, and then enter. Select objects to cut. That'll be our head here and our prongs. And then hit enter and then just kind of take it out. And I had no selected, so I'll have to ungroup this, and then I can get rid of these pieces here. I could have hit delete it down here in my command line, but I had it selected at no from a prior project, so my bad on that for not pointing that out. And then there we go. And again, that wire cut though may have broke history. So if we take this and move it, yeah, we still got history on it, so we can continue to manipulate these as we see fit, right? Now to close it off, you can do a lot of things, but I would save it here in case you're going to break history. But we can go back in, select our curves, dupe edge, and we can go ahead and dupe all these edges and dupe all these edges, hit enter, and enter again. So we have those, right? And we should be able to go to our surface, surface 2, but first we want to turn our outside ring rail, show, so we have both now. And then we can go to sweep 2, select our rails, this rail, select our profiles, this one, which grouped this one, right? So we want to back out of that real quick. We want to select this one, and it's both of them, they're grouped, right? So what we want to do is ungroup, right? But now they're individual, right? So we need to go back and select both those and go back to our tools and hit join, and then hit there, or accept that rather, and now we have those curves joined, right? And they're individually out there, they're not grouped anymore. So now we can go back to our surface, surface 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hit enter. And now we have that going around. And we have a little indentation. We have our caps on there, and this is capped flat, and this is kind of we have a little dome cap there. Now we could try, I'm not sure if this will work. We'll go to, no, not Boolean, different Boolean union. This one, and then hit enter and kind of hang out. Oh, no. Okay, back out. Right click, this one, enter, this one, enter, and then enter, and we might still have, everything should maybe be parametric, so we'll take this one and kind of move it, and it still updates, right? So we can still manipulate it even further. So that's the power of matrix gold right there in a nutshell. I mean, I just do one little curve out there and then got this entire piece together, right? So, and then our size and everything, we can always go back to our outside ring rail, edit. First, let's go ahead and complete that command. We can go back to our outside ring rail and edit. Maybe we want to bring that in a little bit, and maybe we want to drop that down a little bit. You still have total control over everything in the menu, and then you can start to do, you want to save it though, go ahead and save it, and then you can go ahead and you know, if you wanted to fill up these edges or whatever, you know, that's going to break history, because I don't believe we have a parametric fill it. Yeah, no. So once you start, you know, doing more design work, you might lose the parametric history. But if you go ahead and do a full save, let's just go ahead and do that. Full save it. Now you can always bring it back and start to manipulate it even further, right? So hopefully this kind of gives you a little idea of the power that you have with parametric loft and curve from two views, and really total control over adjusting everything, right? So hopefully this helps. If it does, please leave a comment and hit like, share the content, and good designing. Thanks a lot for watching, and I really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much.